3, 2, 1. Welcome to Love.
Shall we start?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, welcome to another episode, number 7.
Abysmal.
Abysmal of You May Be Entitled to Compensation. This week we have Daniel Crossley, who, if you don't know, you should know. I mean, star of the stage and screen from.
Can I just say, you sent me like a bio.
I know,
I've never
it's
seen
like
a bio that big.
it's so big. I mean, you might.
like the
It's
biggest
from like
bio.
Shakespeare to Cats, from Coronation Street to The Day of the Jackal. But most recently, really loves to play a sort of sex pest.
Well, I have to be a little.
One of my friends also, but very talented. Just saying, the bio is amazing.
I do tend, recently there has definitely been a wave
theme, haven't
of,
there?
a really deeply unpleasant middle-aged men.
What was the other one that I've forgotten? The first one before this typecasting
I played somebody very unpleasant in Coronation Street last year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Oh, was it that?
And then
How unpleasant?
How unpleasant. Like Deirdre Barlow unpleasant?
not that unpleasant. Sort of like angry and aggressive and like hitting, or not hitting women, but ready to fight women.
Right.
Unpleasant.
Oh, we're talking like Andrew Tate. Yeah.
Was it a bit tatey? You
don't know
weren't
that it was
wielding like a
tatey.
machete.
I wasn't
And
wielding
being
a
like-
machete. No, there were no weapons, but I was
psychological.
It was pretty grim. He was sort of defending his son in this kind of situation,
Right.
And he thought that she was doing something against his son, this character, and so he sort of went to confront her in the workplace and kind of squared up to her, and they had a bit of a scrap. Or they would have had a bit of a scrap.
Up to?
Carla. Do you watch Corrie?
See, I haven't seen Corrie for years, but
Carla is the lady that owns the knicker factory.
right, this is brilliant.
Oh,
It's a great
so-
storyline.
If you just said Knicker Factory to us, is that the old Baldwin's place?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you know who I beat up?
Who?
Peggy Mitchell.
What do you mean?
I queer bashed Peggy Mitchell.
Well, literally.
Yeah, I was on EastEnders and I had to go as a queer basher because
They chose you as a queer basher.
hey, I can bash all the queers.
The queerest basher in town.
Yeah,
is
I was
coming
like-
Queerest
to
basher of
Tanya.
them all.
What did you do?
Um,
Oh, you had to.
Yeah.
This was an acting stint. I
Yeah.
didn't realise you'd also. I'd like to see your acting bio.
It's not that good. I was like an extra,
Right.
But I was like that extra that always put on his thing. Oh, I could do horse riding,
Highboard diving.
queer bashing, highboard diving.
What? Pole
And then
dancing.
you get on set and they're like, do you mind doing a bit of, you're going to run over there and what we're going to do, we're going to teach you how to swing. And I'm like, they've got a swing? They're like, no, like punch swing. So yeah, it's like a queer basher for like 10 episodes.
10
Yeah,
episodes.
because we ended up
10?
beating up her husband.
That sounds pretty.
Yeah.
But
Pretty
that's
good.
like
Pretty good
a
job.
whole new career.
Yeah.
I
10
didn't realise you
episodes.
were
I'll be
like
very
10.
happy with that.
I forgot to mention all of this, yeah. But it wasn't, I didn't have any lines.
Right, but you just had to
Yeah.
bash.
Yeah, I was a basher on London's Burning as well.
What?
Yeah.
What, a
Carl.
queer basher?
No, the guy had cerebral palsy.
Oh my God.
It was a lot easier to bash.
I didn't realise that
Way
Carl was going to upstage your entire
My entire
acting
career.
like-
After that introduction about my
After the-
bio,
Yeah.
apparently
It's
it's about
like-
Carl.
Hang on a
Just an
minute.
extra.
This is what tends to happen. Is Carl tends to reveal some kind of secret career, or the fact that everyone's entitled to compensation for what he's been doing.
Yeah.
10 episodes.
10,
though.
that's a
I'm
lot.
very happy with 10 episodes.
Yeah.
I think I did 2 on
Going up
Corrie.
to like a Boreham Wood. Where did you have to go for Corrie?
Manchester.
But you've just come back from somewhere this week, though.
I
Have you been doing work?
have. I'm doing Hollyoaks.
Are you? Is this the sex pest?
Well, I'm not sure I should really
Right. Fine.
divulge.
To be confirmed.
Because-
this is going to take a few episodes. This is going to take a while to come out. so-
Because I don't know whether I have actually signed a contract, which I probably should have read.
Well, we can always
a
edit
little
this
bit
out.
more in depth.
Yeah,
But-
NDA.
But in terms of what you are actually allowed to reveal, because I guess it's a month or 6 weeks in advance.
Okay.
But let's just say he's another deeply unpleasant person. That tends to be the That tends to be the theme. I think it's my
Do you have
age.
like an unpleasant bio? No, like the portrait picture that you have to send in.
No, I think I have like a mix, different pictures, and my agent probably chooses which one to send.
Like to send the old shifty one.
Yeah,
The old
exactly.
shifty eye.
If there's a bit of a sort of like shifty look, he'll perhaps send a certain shot, and then another one that needs something a bit more sunny and a bit more light, he'll send something a bit lighter.
It's like
A bit less shifty.
A bit less shifty. Yeah. A little less
It
dark,
stays in the
maybe.
shifty area, but,
But
it's less shifty.
But I do think, actors, when you get to certain ages and certain points, you do find that your casting shifts, and you're sort of going along a road for a while, and everyone's seeing you as a certain thing, and then suddenly it's like, oh, I'm playing the dads, or I'm playing dark people, or do you know what I mean? So something
it
that
goes through.
it goes through different stages, and it does seem a little like it's all unpleasant.
What's interesting is it
middle-aged
couldn't be
men.
any further away from the truth. Just like the least shifty person that I know.
But maybe that's it. Maybe that's.
But you can channel that inner shift.
Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's because
You're like,
it's
okay,
not.
I'm really nice over
naturally-
here, but underneath it,
Yeah, it's not naturally who I am. Maybe, and maybe that's the thing that when I've got to say they are interesting parts to play. Generally speaking, they are. You might not be very popular with the audiences, but they're interesting.
Well, yeah, because I think it's like playing a villain is much more interesting than
So
playing
much more
someone that's like
interesting.
saccharine sweet.
Yeah.
And in life, you don't often. Part of the reason for this podcast is you can't often be compensated for like bad behavior, but in this format, it's a good way of channeling through.
You get to do your worst,
your inner violences that you'd like to commit on screen, and then go home and have a cup of tea.
That's absolutely right.
Nice to everyone else.
Yeah, and sometimes when I'm doing, when you're like doing the self tapes and everything for them, it's really enjoyable because you do get to sort of vent. You do get to sort of get rid of a bit of something, which.
Question.
I mean, that's a good.
Did you just see the live episode of what was it, EastEnders?
No, I didn't.
One of the main characters dies, and they did the whole episode live. And then as he dies, they take his underwear or something off her. Someone's having a baby, so they take her underwear off, and one of the actresses takes the underwear, sniffs them.
What?
Live on telly, and goes, "Oh." Like that, and throws them over that way, and just completely forgets it's live. It's really good. I'll show you that. It's like a live episode of EastEnders at Christmas. So then
she forgets that she's live.
Yeah, she forgets she's live. And
That's
so
funny.
once someone's having a baby and someone's dying, so they're doing the whole death dying thing. So this guy's dying, this one's having a baby, she's screaming, she goes, "Get her knickers off!" So she takes her knickers off, and she just forgets she's live, and she grabs the knickers, sniffs them,
That's so
and
weird.
goes like that. It's all over the internet.
How
yeah.
weird.
For that amazing
Live theatre.
segue.
Thanks.
Live there, yeah, completely. Yeah, in 2021 I did it twice. I played a sex pest twice. Once in a play at Sheffield Crucible, and then once in a TV series.
So
called
you've really
Funny
got
Woman.
that act
I
down
obviously
now.
have.
Yeah, you've
I'm not
got
sure
it.
that's something to be proud
No,
of.
but I think it's good. You've channeled it into.
Once your agent has seen that that's making money,
They're like,
that's
yeah.
That's it. It's like
Roll
them
everything
out.
that turns up in my inbox is sex pest, sex pest, sex pest. I've got an inbox full of sex pests.
Does it work? I mean, how's that working for your personal life? Do you know?
Not great, I have to say. Not great. Maybe
That's a
I'm.
compensation for the fact that it's affecting. your
No,
actual
it's
personal
got
life.
like. Do you got to
Maybe.
send it? Oh, you should have like a little reel that you send off when they say send dick pics. I've got better. I've got one where I beat this woman up. I've got this one. I've got this one.
For the fetishists amongst you. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Perfect
Maybe.
show reel
I need
material.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got your queer bashing scenario.
Sounds like you've got it down.
People would love that one though. If I sent that one, yeah, because I was like 15.
I mean, I went on a terrible date last week.
Who with?
Are
Are we not allowed to name who it is?
Oh no, but I
yeah,
tried.
she's been naming and shaming
Oh,
all of them.
I have not.
Yeah, we had a good
I tried there's a new app called Breeze, and I tried it, and it's basically you don't chat to the people beforehand. They arrange a date for you. But what I didn't realize about so you match somebody. They give you like 7 people each day.
Wow.
And anyway, you match somebody, and then
You match in the same way, the swipe. thing.
yeah, but then they arrange a date for you, and then you can't talk to them till 2 hours before. So if there's any issues,
Okay.
But what I didn't realize is
Oh, wow.
what I didn't realize is what they were going to do is. So I arrive at this place in Spitalfields, but I walk in and it's feeling a bit odd, right? It's
Right.
got this general feeling. It's
Yeah,
a bit
it's
odd.
like
I'm
meat
early,
hanging everywhere.
and there's like French music being pumped through, and there's just everyone's in twos, and I realise that everybody's on a date for
Oh,
Bruce
no.
in this place.
So it's like an
And
organized.
so it felt like a TV show,
Right,
and I was just
right.
like, because I kind of sort of went up and said, "I'm doing this stupid breeze up thing," and she was like, "Oh yeah," and you pay £9 and you get a drink, which actually whatever. But this guy arrives anyway. He's late. Meanwhile, I've scoped the whole place out because it's super twee and you can hear everyone's conversations. And it's kind of making me feel odd. But there was an outside table, so I thought I'm going to find an outside table.
Right.
Like I'll stay there because then at least I can't see like. It was like a Channel 4 TV show. Do you know what I mean? I thought someone was going to pop out and start interviewing.
Davina McCall.
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
So this guy arrives late, and he was like his first. He looked different to what he looked a lot
Well,
less.
doesn't everyone? I mean, this is the major
Yeah, but
problem.
I
with-
don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure, in 3D,
Yeah.
but you might look different. But he was just work. He was like he didn't look as well kept as he did on this app. And he starts with like, I rarely swipe right or whatever because I always match with someone. So he starts with that, and
Not a
then
great-
what?
not a
does-
great
and,
opener.
and then continues to be more or less being on a date every night that week, right? So I'm a bit like I'm like
You were
look-
Yeah.
number 4.
yeah, more or
a
less.
week.
You know, and he's like, because I said, I didn't realize we're going to be around other couples. He's like, oh yeah, this is what they do. And I was like, well, I don't know if I'm into it. It feels like really, like I feel like I'm an organized fun, which is never,
is never
just
great.
never
Never
that
good.
fun. And anyway, the date just goes on, but he's like, he starts just a series of mansplaining. I mean, just like mansplaining to me. First, he starts mansplaining to me about female sexuality.
Right.
And he's like, you do
Which
realize-
is lucky. It kind of keeps you up, so now you're up to speed as well.
Oh, well, it's great to know. And he
Great
was-
to know this
Did
stuff.
you
but-
learn anything? But
Well,
Yeah.
no, but first he explained what all the apps were because I was like, he was like, oh, do you internet date? And I was like, no, I find it really difficult because I don't really. And he's like, let me explain the apps to you. He explained the apps, but exactly how the apps are, like Field is for sex, and I was just like, oh, okay, I thought we were gonna get some new information.
yeah.
No. Then he was like, you do realize that like females are equally as sexual as men, and I was like, yeah, I got that. I am
I am
female.
one.
Yeah.
Strangely, you might not have realised.
So then it just kind of went on and on. Then he started explaining to me about energy, and I was like, but in a way that was like a
What,
female,
in a way of sort of
white
bringing your
spiritual-
heating bills down. type
No, in a way that a white female would be like, you know, what attract you manifest what you
Oh.
attract. So I was like,
How long did you set
well,
this out
this
for?
was all done within 25 minutes because the like.
Is there a limit? Is there like a time limit on this?
No,
on the
there
app?
wasn't.
You
but
can stay as long as you
he
want.
he just.
Also, did you stay at that place or did you take him home?
No, God, you always try and see if I've taken them home, Cole. I don't get past the date. We know this.
Except for pop socks.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Who's pop
I
socks?
have no idea. You just make stuff up. But in the
Do
end,
you remember the guy with pop socks?
oh,
Yeah,
no,
you're-
we're not going to talk about that this episode.
We're not going to talk
That's
about that one.
outrageous.
But that's why I was like,
Cole,
I'm
zip
seeing
it,
that.
Zip it. But the point is, he ended up was like, this isn't going to work, is it? And I was like, no, because in 25 minutes you've mansplained to me about female sexuality. You've then gaslit me, and then he'd also said I was looking immaculate, and he was like, oh, I really like your shoes.
Oh.
And then he just stormed off. But anyway, it was just a weird. And then this week I had another date with them, and they just didn't turn up.
Oh, same one.
Same app,
Same
I'm
one.
not that
but
impressed.
the person didn't show up.
just didn't turn up. Said he had a car crash.
Well, that's a good excuse, isn't it? That's fair. That's fair enough.
It's a good one for you. Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm sorry, I
But
was
it's like
stood
you've got a
up
car
at
crash.
6 o'clock at Liverpool Street.
Yeah.
And then this guy tried selling like the book of spiritual advancement. He said he was an ex-monk, was like trying to chat me up. And I was like, I'm going home. So I feel I'm entitled to compensation for just doing that app this week.
How many apps are you on?
None. Just
Oh, is
that.
that just
yeah,
that
I
one?
just thought I'd try that.
Are you not on the
Are
plane?
you on any apps?
I am, yeah.
Ooh.
How are you feeling
Which
about
ones?
I'm bored of them.
them? Nobody ever answers.
I'm bored of them. It's
I
What do you
it's
mean no
different-
one answers?
No one answers me. It's different for you two because people are like, "Here's my bum
I mean,
hole."
you chat. You know.
and you're like, "Did
Yeah.
I come round
Like,
at
I
3?"
bet- Right.
I could use any bum hole because they're not going to check it.
But I think a lot of people enjoy that part of it more than they enjoy the idea of actually meeting a human being.
Yeah, what,
they
just the
enjoy.
chat of it?
They enjoy the sending. They enjoy that bit. They enjoy the titillation. They don't actually want to meet.
Do you generally masturbate when you're on the app or no?
What?
Is that just me?
What? What do you mean? No, not on the app. No, there's not.
No?
Why?
Well,
I did
sometimes
different,
it's
like,
horny
straight-
to just get on the app
No,
and start
but-
going for it.
No, I'd rather not do that.
No?
That's not.
Maybe that's why they disappear because.
What are
do
you
you ever
talking
find
about?
that they're like?
I don't think me wanking off on the app is helping anything.
So how?
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, it depends. You never know. How,
Do you
Well,
not
yeah, but
realize?
is this
do you
again
not realize
where
they're
I'm going
probably
wrong?
Oh, sorry. They're probably wanking off on the other end. Do you not realize that?
Probably, yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
know where we're going with this.
That's why they go mid-conversation. When you say, "Oh, they disappeared," that's why.
because they've had
sure.
their fun and
Yeah,
left.
sometimes
Yeah.
they have their fun and leave. That's the thing with the apps. You're like, "Where have you gone?" And then like 2 weeks later,
Yeah,
they
no,
message you,
I-
"Sorry, I came." You're like, "Oh,
2 weeks later.
yeah."
It's
When they're
a
back on
long
again.
old wank,
What,
that.
babe?
It's a slow wank.
Yeah.
So tell me, this first guy. What?
Don't- the deflection, though, we're still going to come back to you.
Yeah, fine,
no,
no,
we
you-
can
you-
concentrate on
yeah.
me for a bit, but
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
we have.
Just tell me,
Don't,
no,
we haven't
this-
got you on to interview me.
This kind of like interests me. In
Like
terms
all
of
the other guests.
how do you then, after this 25 minutes, what happens? Who gets in touch with who afterwards, or no one gets in touch with anyone?
Oh, no one got into
Because that's the bit that I find hard. Is that
What do you mean?
I mean, I had a date not that long ago. Went to the cinema, which admittedly is a bit weird for.
Oh, we've
first
already
date.
decided that cinema dates are the worst for first
Especially
dates.
not for first
He went
Oh,
to
yeah,
go
they're
to
really
Dr.
bad.
Dolittle with somebody.
Yeah, and then they
never spoke
basically
again.
legged it afterwards.
But like, so what film did you see? Also,
We saw
Dr.
Conclave.
fucking
I don't-
That
what's
Ralph
that?
Fiennes film about
Okay.
about pre.
You
the
hadn't met them
priesthood.
before, and
No.
you went to see a film about priests.
Oh no,
Wow.
you went to see a
Strong.
pedo film with a date? How old was he?
No, it wasn't.
Were you foreshadowing?
No. He was like, I don't know. He was sort of my age, maybe a little bit younger than me. We were talking about films. We were sort of doing that kind of, we were doing that chat, and he said, "Oh, what have you seen?" Because it was Oscar season, so we were talking about
yeah.
what was nominated. Blah,
Is he an
blah, blah.
actor as well?
No, he wasn't. But he was like really into film and cinema, and he said, and we sort of like were chatting, and he said, "I've not seen Conclave." I said, "Neither have I." So he said, "Well, should we do that? Should we go and see a film?" So that's how it. But I did remember thinking, "Oh, that's quite a weird one for a first date."
How did you find it?
He was really, really lovely, really, really nice guy, and the film was great, and we had a really nice afternoon. I'm not sure I was feeling it, and to be honest, I'm not sure he was feeling it either, because neither of us got in touch with each other afterwards. But that is always the
No,
thing.
that's the cinema curse.
I
Do you
think
think
it's the
it
curse.
is?
We decided it's the curse of the cinema.
It's the curse of the cinema because you don't end up doing anything except for sitting next to each other, and you both kind of discuss stuff, and then leave.
Yeah, I mean,
It's weird as
we
shit.
did have a little coffee before, and we did have a little chat afterwards. But I know what you mean. It's not great for getting to know someone, is it? Because you're both just sitting in a dark room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
not
it's
the
kind
right
of-
dark room.
Although the only upside is it does give you a subject to talk about. It does give you something to talk
no,
about.
but you've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, but with strangers, sometimes you need a bit of a trigger, don't you? So you need
Yeah.
something that's sort of going to kick it off.
Sure,
a bit,
yeah. I
you
mean,
know?
maybe that's where I'm going wrong because I've got
What,
too much to
talking?
talk about.
Maybe that's why nobody gets in touch with you. But
Well, no,
yeah.
but when I think I've discovered that they like to give you basic advice.
Yeah, that's
you know,
not
that's
great.
really weird.
No, I
when
don't
someone's,
need
you know, when
advice from
someone's
anyone
giving,
that doesn't know
oh,
me.
this is what ended it. This is why he walked off, because he said he was saying to me, he's like, have you ever been married? And I said, no, I haven't been married. And he was like, and I said, I think we're at a really weird stage where, you know, a lot of women haven't, or people aren't getting married because of the emotional labor that's involved in being married, and women especially. And I said, but it's really sad we're kind of in this age of disconnection, you know, where it's specifically more connected but not.
Yeah.
And then he said, well, in America, people that do the men that get divorced in America always lose out. And I was like, really? I said, doesn't everyone lose out in a divorce? You know, it's a failure of a relationship. This is how I was kind of, and he was like, no, but the law is it's financial that the men are losing out. And I was like, maybe it's circumstantial. You know, that's maybe not always the case. And he said, I've done the research, and I suggest you do the research if you want to argue with me about that. And I was like, I'm not arguing with you about that, but I'm really interested as to why you've done specific research about American divorce. Are you planning on going there? Or are you planning to get married in America?
Yeah.
And it went on and on and on to the point where I was like, I'm not going to do the research. And then he said, well, this isn't going to work, is it? And he was like, I was like, no, it's not.
It's not.
Because I don't know what you're trying to prove. I think it's sad that I said my parents got divorced and my father got everything. So my lived experience is different. But I really think divorce is, you know, no one is winning on that.
No,
And whatever
no one's winning.
whatever financial compensation someone gets, it's the failure of a relationship. The kids lose out. It's like
Completely.
acrimonious. But it was wild that he was kind of like, he really wanted me. He said to me, you know, if a woman was doing better here, he wanted to prove that men were like in a worse position. And I was just like, and we're still in, yeah. And I said, can we?
Sounds very heavy for a first date, doesn't
I said, can we have a lighter topic of conversation?
yeah.
It's what, because I was just like, I'm not going to do.
Can we talk about the priesthood for a bit?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was weird
Yeah.
though. He really wanted to. Anyway.
I mean,
was
that's
heavy,
one thing.
and I just kind of left thinking.
Surely, rule number one on dates:
Let's not talk about
light.
the divorce rates in America.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. Although interestingly, I do often find when I first meet somebody, I am interested in their past relationships. I do want to know.
Sure.
Really
yeah.
fast,
No. Of
like
course.
Yeah. I mean, I purposely don't say. So, have you had a
But
relationship?
you wouldn't do the
before?"
statistics on
No,
it
I wouldn't.
over like a whole race.
I wouldn't. No. I
What
wouldn't
you
do
would?
that.
What would you ask? You'd ask if they.
I'd just say, yeah. I would just sort of have a little find out what
Yeah.
they're, because if especially if they're kind of my age and they've never had a relationship, that's a red flag. That's a big warning, isn't it? You know, if they've never had a relationship. So it's quite interesting. You know, if somebody goes, oh yeah, I had a relationship for 5 years and that didn't work, and then 20 years and that didn't work, then you go, all right, well, you know how to do relationships, so I'd be all right with you.
Yeah. I mean, unless they've just. It depends how many they've had as well.
Well, yeah.
Like,
That's true. That's
although
true.
I don't believe in that whole body count thing, which I think is bullshit. You know, that
What body count thing?
Well, specifically with men, with men and women asking how many people you've slept with,
Oh, yeah.
and therefore
How
valuing
many people
you
have you
off.
killed? What's your body count?
Yeah, that'd be more interesting. How many people? But then
What, to
say-
gauge whether you're
whether
what
you're
sort
a
of person
high
you are.
value woman or not. So if you've slept with too many
Whoa.
people, that you're like out, which I think is like super dark.
Well, it's very
and
judgy,
bullshit,
isn't it?
you
I
know.
suppose the body count question really is about what you're looking for, because some kids are like, they want to know the body count because they're like, I want to know if she's up for it, like if she's got a high body count.
No, but
like,
mostly it's used as a negative for women. You know, it's not used as a positive.
got it.
It's always kind of like, you've had too many,
Right.
which I don't think counts.
You should be good.
Yes,
Yeah.
I should be fine.
Yeah, you're
Because like
pretty
no.
well.
What? Yeah, in terms of like how many is acceptable type things. Like what?
Yeah, which well, I mean, I think you.
I mean, who can say? I mean,
I think I'm entitled to compensation for a lot of the ones that I've tried. For some of the experiences.
and
yeah.
also, yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't be interested in body count unless it was like thousands and thousands and thousands. In which case, I might go, oh, okay, that's it's okay, but it's yeah.
Thousands and thousands. But how's
a bit
that at the
much.
time?
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Very busy.
Yeah, but that might suggest that they've been single for a long time, which again is sort of, it's not a major problem, but it does, like I said, when you get into my sort of time of life, and if you're
acting like you're in a Werther's original.
I know,
advert.
babe. How old are you?
You're still very young.
let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you are acting as if you're in the later years of life, and you're very vibrant.
In the autumn of life.
The mist season, where I don't think you're anywhere near.
No, you know what I mean, though.
I do, yeah.
You know what I mean. You sort of you kind of want somebody who has had a little bit of experience, relationship.
But then it
experience.
just depends, I think, also, because they could have been in a terrible relationship, and become used to that. So
yeah.
it's tricky. I think it's case by case.
But I wouldn't ask on the first date. So how many people have you slept with?
Yeah, that's.
Or I wouldn't ask on a first date. What is your relationship history? But it doesn't take long before I do find myself asking those kind of questions.
Is there a date where you feel you really do need compensation because it went that bad? Where you're like, this has been horrifying. This has changed my life.
No, I don't. There's been plenty of really boring dates, but I don't think there's been anything. I don't think there's been anything that's been horrendous or that I feel as if I've been in a dangerous
you've been lucky
position.
then.
Yeah, we've only just met. So
Why have you had those?
I've been the horrendous date.
Yeah,
Right.
he's definitely
Unfortunately,
he's been the horrendous date.
Yeah. Not deliberately.
I mean,
Yeah.
also the other question is if you've had any experiences like in work where you feel like, because Carl basically has been the horrendous date and been the worst employee.
On the
So those
planet,
those two are options.
Yeah.
If you have anything, you think retrospectively, you think
I
you've
mean,
been treated badly.
Being an actor, you sort of get used to.
Being treated badly.
Yeah.
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 But I think you do.
To be honest, I mean,
Is there some?
I don't mean like boo-hoo, poor.
But by
poor
the
old
but
Oz.
by the but
Just
by
treated like shit on
but
set
by other
happens a lot.
actors or by the crew.
Directors.
by well, it's when you get the job, you don't tend to get treated badly. When you
No.
get the job, you
Yeah.
tend to get treated well. It's the preamble. It's the process. It's the audition process.
I think it's brutal
It is brutal.
because
It is.
you're just sort of, especially now, it's more self-tape, isn't it, than anything else.
And
You're
you
not
can
even
spend,
meeting anyone.
Something that happens quite a lot is that you spend an awful lot of time, preparing whatever it is that you've been sent, and doing what you feel is a good job, and then it just gets sent off and never hear another word. Another word. So that's kind of. That is.
I think it's systemically should be. It's like it's an awful system to be in. It's the same with writing artists grant. You never hear back from them. So it's like it does have an over time. It is exhausting for your nervous system, sense of confidence. Even if you've done good work.
Yeah.
You still there's a level of could somebody say thank you
Yeah,
or
I
could
know.
someone answer the email back? It's like. But I think that is across the board within the creative industries
I
and the
think it probably
systems that
is.
you're going into.
And I think maybe
They're really structurally bad on that front.
the internet doesn't help because it's something about the internet which gives people permission to just it's an email. I don't have to respond because I suppose in person, if you've actually exchanged something,
you would feel like you'd have to.
You'd feel like you'd have to say something, but with things like self-tapes and things where they just come across people's desks and they look and no, I don't know. Yeah,
I think that's tiring, though, isn't it? Over time,
it can be
It's
really tiring, especially if you feel like you've done a good job. I mean, I don't always feel like I've done a good job.
Also, getting some feedback would be good occasionally.
Yeah.
It's
Like
really
even
hard
that.
though. Like when I auditioned for a film, I did like a short film I was directing, and I got tons and tons of tapes from people, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't realise I was going to get this many.
Yeah.
So I'm like 100 tapes I'm sat in front of. So I sat with a producer, and we're just sitting in front of them. And you're just like, oh no, that's a no, that's a no, that's a no.
Yeah.
Then afterwards, they're like, we can't write to 100 people. So
Yeah.
the producer's like, don't worry, I've got like a set thing saying thank you, blah blah blah. Thanks for sending in.
Just send it off. Yeah.
Yeah, but then so we sent these off to people that weren't successful, but they weren't personal at all.
Right.
And we got some real shitty
Responses.
responses. Like, yeah.
I know, but
like, whoa, and I was like, oh,
I mean,
fuck.
it doesn't happen always. Every now and again, you do get a nice email from a producer or casting.
But you also have an agent, so you'd think you'd get some feedback via that.
Yeah, but
You
the
know what I
weird thing
mean?
about feedback as well is that, you know, I've also been on the other
It's
side of
also
it.
subjective.
I made a
who's
short
auditioning
film.
You could be fucking brilliant.
You
but
made
the
a
person
short
auditioning
I
you
made a
is
short.
just-
I made a short film with a friend of mine, and so I was on the casting side of things. We were looking at actors, and there was, I don't know, 10 actors for one part, and you know, you watch all the tapes, and there's just something about one of the tapes where you just go, well, it's him. I can't tell you why it's him. It's just him. All the other actors are really good. They could all play it, but it's going to be him. So then it's like, well, how do you feed that back? Sorry, it just you did a perfectly good job, but it's just gone to someone,
Well, I think,
someone
sorry,
else.
you did a perfectly good job.
He's
a good
all right.
start.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you did a perfectly good job. It was,
Maybe that's it.
That's really would. If somebody sent me that, you did a perfectly good job.
Yeah.
But we
We
chose,
think you're great.
But we
Yeah.
chose this other person.
Yeah.
That would be a really great
Yeah.
response
Yeah.
to actually get finally from somebody, rather than just like these generic responses of like, you've been unlucky this time.
Yeah.
You know, unlucky
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, but
Whereas
I
if you've
I
done-
wonder if.
But
I wonder
imagine
if,
doing like 200 of them.
Well, it's not that
Like,
difficult. 200 of
but
those.
no.
It seems it lands better though. If someone said you've done a
'cause
perfectly
there's-
good job.
Yeah.
You might have 200 people that were really, really shit. I sat through about
Oh, yeah.
100 and something shit, laughable ones.
Yeah, but we're not
Where you're like,
neither of
this
us-
guy's not an actor. He's not. He's just taking the piss.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, how do I respond? We're
Are
already
you trying to
10 minutes in, and I'm like, do we just? And the weird thing is, the guy that we chose, we thought was shit at the beginning because he was like the first few tapes we watched, and we were like, oh, he's crap, and I was like, put him to the delete, and we got to the end, and I was like, oh, we've got rid of everyone. Let's start again. So we started going, and I was like, oh, I like that guy, and I was like, well, why the fuck?
Why?
did we-
Because-
why did we tell him he was rubbish at the first round?
Yeah.
It's actually really good.
Yeah.
But I think going back to him on
It
his
does-
own, we were like, he's brilliant.
But that's in context, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
where
we
you.
had him in context with we were like, he's rubbish. It's really weird.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can't ever
Well, this
take
is
it
what this.
personal.
No, but this is how random on some level
Yeah.
it is. It really is a meeting.
I think
of,
with
like,
creative industries, there's a kind of acceptance. Well, I'm not saying it's good, but there is a kind of acceptance that, well, you know, yeah, that's just you know,
That's
you
what you
throw all the
expect.
shit at the wall, and some of it sticks and some of it doesn't, and that's just how it is, type thing.
Sure, but I think it isn't set up with the greatest.
No, it could
it's-
be handled
it's-
better.
Because,
Yeah, I say no. To
because you
things.
have to
Yeah.
weigh it up
You
on
do.
like an
You do.
emotional level of like, is this worth? It's not worth me getting out of bed
No.
for this. No, but there's some jobs
Yeah.
that you just like.
You and
I'm
Andrew
going
imagine
to have to pay a therapist to deal with the aftermath of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah,
halfway house.
especially. I'm sorry to mention age again, but especially maybe experience is a better way of you know, because you've been down those roads before.
Well, yeah, that is learnt. I think
It
that's
is.
learnt.
It is. You
You're
think,
like, this is,
I've seen this before,
I
and
know
it
what
sounds
this
very
is.
nice on paper, but I know what it's going to
well,
be.
this is the kind of people that are out saying, "Oh, this is good for you. This is a good for experience."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, it's not.
No, it's not,
It's
actually.
literally me.
Yeah.
You're just getting my free talent and experience.
Yeah, and all my hard work
And
time.
all my hard work.
Yeah.
And unless there's good snacks, like some treats involved, it's
or
a
loads of
definite-
cash.
Or loads of cash. It's true, though. I
Yeah.
think, you know.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it-
You
it
always have to weigh it up. When it comes in, if it comes in, you always have to weigh up. Okay, well, what are the pros and what are the cons, for sure.
Yeah, I did a film, like art directed a film a while back, which I won't mention what it is.
Right.
But like I was brought in last minute because the art director had something happen to the art director. And it was an absolute shit show. Now,
Right.
bearing in mind, I've done used to work on features with under Eve Stewart, who's Emmy award, BAFTA award winning production designer. This was a production by sort of overprivileged 20-year-olds who, I mean, it was phenomenal. When I walked in on set, the production designer was crying, and that's how that set the tone for the whole film. And the
Crying because of what?
Crying because they'd started filming and they hadn't even organized the hero prop, which was this book.
Right.
So I was like, right, so I basically just went into firefighting, and had to make this like prop overnight.
I bet you did it brilliantly.
Well, yeah, I managed it, but it was a bit like someone said to me at one point, "But do you have a heart?" And I said, "Yes, I do, but we need to get a job done." And everyone crying isn't gonna.
It's not gonna.
Gonna happen. Like we just need to get this sorted out.
Yeah.
So it became like the first AD decided to do like 5 night shoots in a row. And he was like, "I'm getting your circadian rhythm like used to it." And I was like, "No, what you're doing is just stupid. You know, that's just not how, you don't need to work us like that. We're already doing 13-hour days. Like, we don't need to do 5 nights of those 13-hour days." And they hadn't sorted food out. And at one point, only being the first aid, like the art director, they hadn't got a vehicles guy. So I was at one point driving a milk truck at 3 a.m. full of milk. It was just an absolute shit show. And at one point what I learned was I did a stupid thing, which was that after the 5 nights in night shoot, we could never get any food in this as well. So you'd come back to the hotel and everything was closed.
Yeah.
So I decided to write an email at like maybe 1 a.m. after half a bottle of red wine, which was my dinner.
Never a great choice, is it? No,
never
a great decision.
Where I described how, in my professional opinion of certain years of working within films, what I thought this production.
Did they have you back?
And sent it out. No. Then I lost that job. But the email was brilliant, but I learned a few things there. Like, I shouldn't have said yes to firefighting the film in the first place because I wasn't being paid enough. You know what I mean? But also, there's a lot of things in there. I'm sure you've been on sets where you're like, we've either got to get through this, but there is an endurance that's just not worth it. I could have walked off sooner.
Yeah, but I think oftentimes creative people are you throw yourself in, don't you? It is like, well, I'm here, so let's make the best of it. Yeah.
And you don't want to let the side down.
Exactly. It's really eating me. There have been times when I've been particularly like low budget things and short films. And I remember I did this student film once.
I don't even think my mic's working.
What's happening? We were so technically aware.
So technically adept.
Technically aware. Why is it?
Are we on? Because
I just got to turn myself up.
God, Carl. We told the conversation, Carl, just the whole thing today. But go on.
Yeah, I did a student film once, a short film years ago, and we were in this sort of like derelict building, and this guy that I was playing was having some sort of breakdown, and I had to smash around with this hammer, and there was like brick dust and all sorts of crazy stuff, and I was in the moment, and I was like doing it because I knew what the director was after, and afterwards I was like, I could barely breathe because I'd inhaled so much of this this crap. Because you do, don't you? When sometimes you're in the moment and you think, well, what do you want me to do? And I'll do it. And then it's not until afterwards that you think, really, because you don't want to be the wanker that goes, actually, I don't want to do that. You want to sort of throw yourself into the creative process, don't you? You don't want to be that guy, do you? And everyone's like, oh well, we can't take the shot because the actor won't do it. You kind of, but
I think there is a fine line with that, though.
There is. Really, somebody should have stepped in. Exactly. Somebody should have stepped in and said, we can't ask them to do this because but nobody did because they were young filmmakers and they just wanted to get the shot.
Yeah, but also I think with young filmmakers, what I witnessed was like how many shots they were taking.
Yeah.
It was like,
plus if
take 36. You do
that to the director, you're never working with the director again. So you're the one looking after the actors.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, if I tell.
No, but there's a halfway. There is a halfway house. When you see someone doing like 36 takes, you're like,
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Or like, I remember when I did. That's a whole other story, and I don't want to be the centre. But when someone nicked one of my films that I was making, and at one point just kept saying continuity before we'd even started filming, and I was like. You can't just say continuity. It doesn't mean anything. Like, they were so young and they were just like, continuity. And I was like, what are you doing?
What are you saying that for?
Why? Have you got Tourette? Stop saying it.
Continuity.
And then one of the director had 3 assistants and said to me, I mean, it was my film and it got taken over by this guy. And he said, one of the third assistant, the third AD said to me, there's things that need to be put in the bin. And I went, well, put them in the bin. This is not a real film set. Do you realise that? Like, it's like, put it in the bin.
There's things that need to be put in the bin. What
well,
does
like,
that mean?
To me, and I'm like, well, do I look like a bin man? I mean, I was wearing an orange boiler suit. I said I look more like Guantanamo Bay than a bin man. I can see where you've got the wrong idea, but I'm not a prisoner on day release. This is actually my film. So.
Do you know that first film I did with Trixie? Did you ever see it?
No. Oh, maybe
Trixie?
I did, because, I did.
Yeah, like ages ago.
Yeah.
Like, I had a 1-bedroom flat in, like, Clerkenwell, and I fucked it up. Went very John Waters. Cigarettes everywhere, condoms, cocaine, like, because it had to be.
Is
like,
this the one where you did a shit in the toilet?
That's when I did a shit in the toilet. So, day one, because I wanted it to be real.
All right.
I wanted the actor to walk in, smell it, see it, and go, what the fuck? And it worked. It's fucking brilliant. They really did, like, gag and everything.
I mean, we spoke about this on the first episode, didn't we?
Yeah, and then, like, the second day, Kevin walked in before everyone.
And flushed the toilet.
Cleaned the flat.
Oh, we cleaned the entire flat.
100% cleaned the flat. And the whole cast and crew all turned up. We're like,
we're doing a new
what
scene
we done?
today.
Kevin's like, everything's downstairs in the bin.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so we had to go get it.
You had to get it all looking like it was like,
yeah.
oh dear, yeah.
But have you had situations where like other cast members have been very badly behaved and you just had to put up with it because they're a greater fame than like
Yeah,
or,
I have had a
or
few.
like
yeah,
jazzy directors kind
yeah.
of vibe.
I've had.
Are we going to name and shame?
No, we can't. We're not doing any name and shame. No.
No.
You're way too
No.
professional compared to our last guest.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, no.
Like, he's got a job. Like,
Our lost guests didn't have jobs either.
no, they didn't.
No. We're all freelance. You're the only one that claims to have a job.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh no, I
You're
run the
shaming-
company. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It doesn't really matter.
I have been in situations where, yeah, you're working with actors of a certain, of a certain level, and some of them are really, really lovely, and some of them, I worked with the director once that there was only 3 of us in the scene, and he couldn't remember my name.
Oh, that's so obnoxious.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's just obnoxious in life, let alone if you're like three.
Exactly, and that was really hard. So we spent a
What
whole.
was he calling you? We just couldn't.
He sorry, forgive me. It would just be like that.
Oh
sort
my
of.
god, that's.
Could you come out? Could
But
you,
It's the character name too. Like when you've got
Yeah.
3 people plus 3 character names.
Yeah.
3 actor names, and you're like, oh,
I know, but
fuck,
if there's only 3 of you in the room, you can work out the difference.
You can work-
can't
Remember,
you can
there's
work
6
it
in
out.
the room. There's 6
You
names
can
in
manage that. That is not.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like.
and when you're in that situation, you're nervous. Of course, you're nervous if you just turn up and you're just doing a couple of days on something or whatever, and it doesn't help your.
No,
It
it
doesn't
makes you.
help your confidence
Yeah.
when you can't remember what your name is.
I think it's
You
the
know.
basis that you can do.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Like the very baseline
Yeah.
of like you can remember someone's name that you're working with.
Yeah.
in a room
I
like
have been
that.
on sets when there's been a sort of a difficult actor and everything is geared
Tiptoeing
towards
around.
and I hate that. I think that's a horrible.
Well, I think, but really, it's supposed to be on those kind of things that the higher the actor,
Well, yeah.
they're supposed to set the tone
They
of
should.
the,
Of the whole production.
production.
Yeah.
And when you see them not setting the tone and acting like Princess Ononuku, I
Yeah.
don't know who that is, but
Well, I don't like
essentially,
her, whoever
she's
she
a
is.
bit of a, she's a bit of a
She's a one.
CUNT. She's a real one.
She is
She's
a
a
one.
right piece of
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
And then it's just exhausting because you're like on
It is.
tenterhooks.
Because
And you can
there's
make-
so many things to think about anyway, and on top of that, you've got to figure out how you're going to sort of like find a way into working with
Well,
this person
especially
who's
when
not
you
in the
kind of
mood.
when it's TV and you're going in quick, or it's
Yeah.
you've got to go in and you've got to go
You
out,
do.
and then on film, there's more of a team around it, but you kind of do need to create some kind of field or collective field
Yeah.
where it's held by something.
Yeah.
In order to do good work, you need to feel safe. And you know, it's these
and
are
it just stresses
and also
everybody out.
unnecessary
You know,
to work like that.
yeah.
You know,
the
I think
director's
it's
stressed,
so
the crew,
unnecessary to work with this-
everyone's uptight, and you're
this
trying to
ego.
get the shot or trying to
Yeah.
get whatever you try. You know,
With
and no
one-
one's no one's relaxed because everyone's like, oh, this person's being a nightmare.
Yeah, they're being like, well,
Yeah.
Who's famous for that? There is someone that's famous for that. Who's the one that was in Good Will Hunting?
I don't know. Don't try and get us to name and shame people that we don't know.
Yeah.
Like you're just trying to get us. So,
You want us to
trip
name
us
names,
up.
don't you?
I'm
I
going
know.
full name in.
No.
No, he doesn't even need to be named and shamed. He did like 2 videos. I'm mentioning him because 2 videos just came out of him. Like he made a woman cry on set, and then this other actor starts to like quite famous, starts to like do his part, and he literally walks over to him and he's like, "Well, why the fuck are you here if you're not even going to take my direction?" Like, yeah, just the actor starts crying. You're like,
wow.
Jesus.
But I think there's quite a few people that are infamous.
infamous for it,
They're
yeah.
infamous for that. But I think there's no real reason to work like that unless
It's
you-
usually because
like,
they're scared, isn't it? It's usually because
Well,
they're
it's-
insecure,
of course,
or you
but
know.
like-
But it doesn't excuse it.
I think if you've got to that level, that there should be some kind of humility and
And also, the director should take charge.
yeah.
And should
kind of
realize that it's
reinforces-
affecting everyone else. But usually, you know, often the big star means the big money, so everyone's, you know,
Yeah, but
scurrying
it's kind
about.
of reinforcing systems that really don't work anymore in this world. You know, when I remember one film I was doing, and the director would be playing chess at the same time as directing. So he would like go,
Oh, that's
he'd like go checkmate,
one.
action, and I was like, who has got time? You haven't got time to do both. Stop
why was he
it."
doing that?
It was just a whole look, and it was really bothered me. It was all tweed and then just doing chess, and I was like, "Stop it!"
I mean, there's so much to think about. How can you be thinking
Like
about
literally
chess?
with a little chess thing like this.
No,
And I was just like, "Oh,
That's so good.
knitting or something.
Yeah.
No, it's not on.
yeah." Well, knitting would be at least. You haven't got time.
No,
If you've got time, you're not doing your job then,
no.
because I think it's a massive job to direct something.
And it's so scary, especially if you're doing like a day on something and you don't know anyone and you've been sitting in a caravan for 6 hours and then suddenly somebody comes, you know, you've been there since 5 o'clock in the morning because it's always really,
What?
really
It's
early.
always 5 o'clock.
Always really early
And
morning.
then you're playing something at like 4 p.m.
Yeah, exactly. So
It's like-
you feel like
Always-
absolute shit and you're nervous
and
and you've been
it's
going
like,
over your lines
who-
all day and then
Who's
suddenly
doing
somebody
the call times for that?
somebody
That's another
comes and knocks on your
compensation
door and says, "Okay, we're you know take you to set," and you're like, "I can't even remember my
Who I
own
am.
name,
Yeah.
let alone what my lines are."
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're like, "Oh, suddenly all these famous people, and I have to remember my lines. You know, I've only got 4 lines, but I've got to try and remember."
Do you find that all every time though? Still, or you still get that? I mean,
If I do one day on something, I do, yeah.
yeah, because it's just too.
Because it's like in and out. It's like you said, it's in, it's high pressure, it's nail it, it's get out. If you're on something for a bit longer, then you've got a bit of time to relax, and you know the crew better, and they know you, and you're less nervous, and it's easier. But if it's one day, it's squeaky bomb time, totally.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's-
That makes
Yeah.
sense. I think
The best part of it is when you get offered the job, and then you're like, "Oh, brilliant! I've got a job." And then the morning of or the night before, you're like, "Oh, you can't
you've
sleep because you're worried about the alarm, so you sleep for about 2 hours, you know, and then you're like totally bleary-eyed. You know, you get there, and it's like, "Hello, hello." So many names to remember. Do you know what I mean? You got
Oh, yeah, and
remember
also to
everyone's
be
names
polite
and
to.
who everyone is. You know, oftentimes, you know, if you've self-taped, you haven't even met the director.
I mean, do you think it would be better if you just came in with a bag over your head,
That would be
like
better.
kidnapped?
Yeah.
Came in with a bag over your head and then just
Took it off.
pushed out, all within the space of 2 hours. Do you know what I mean? That's the new one. Like, okay, you got the job. They're gonna kidnap you at about 3 p.m. Be ready. I think it'd be good. And then just anyway, I don't know why my new approach to
It's that
it'd be better than
start-
5 a.m. start there.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
I think I fucked up a film for Ted Danson once. So yeah.
Your acting career is fascinating. Tell
I
us
know.
more.
I just kind of realised, you know that big King's Cross building where the train station is?
Yeah.
They filmed Gulliver's Travels in there. and I was doing an extra, so I had to be like a crazy person, and it was like an asylum. And so he was being forced into this asylum, and they were like, "Oh no, we need you at the front. Need you at the front." Brilliant. I was like, "I'm at the front." I think I forced myself to the front also. I think I forgot to mention that. So I got to the front. Day 2, we had to be on set at like 6 a.m., something like that. So my alarm goes off at midday, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" So I swan into set, and I managed to get into set like 1:30 in the afternoon. Everyone's been on set since 6 a.m. and literally they had to shoot the whole previous day because
you
no
hadn't
one
been
could
there.
get hold of me.
Oh,
The agent couldn't get hold of me.
God.
Yeah, but it's that thing. I
Well,
was so nervous all overnight.
Yeah.
Didn't sleep. Got to like 8 in the maybe 4 in the morning. Was trying to sleep when I was thinking, oh, I should be getting up, but I didn't. I went to bed.
Carl, once
Yeah.
again.
Oh, yeah.
Once again.
Once
Ted Danson
again.
Yeah.
with his claim. Yeah. So yeah,
It's
I
awful that
fucked it
feeling,
up.
isn't it? It's like getting up
That
for a flight.
responsibility of all those people.
Yeah.
I know, but isn't
Yeah,
that the case?
exactly.
It's almost
Yeah.
like when you go to party, you then go out the night before and trash yourself before the party.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
the kind of classic self-sabotage,
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, yeah, I should go to bed really early. Why am I still awake at 4 a.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
I've
yeah,
stopped
exactly.
doing that
It's
sort of
ruined it.
ruination. But that sounds... But again, Carl, your secret acting
My
career...
secret agent. Yeah, I know. I got so many more stories.
Have you?
They're terrible though.
How long?
What
did,
do you
how long
mean?
did you do?
God.
How long did you do the extra work for them?
So was it all
5
extra
years,
work?
Yeah.
Oh,
all extra
wow.
work. But then they would give you like sometimes I got that job on like what was it, London's Burn, and like I was sat there and one of the firemen had to come up and he was looking for his kid and he comes up to me and I was like homeless and he's like, "Have you seen my kid? He's and he shows me a picture and I'm like,
No.
and he's like, "Cut again," and they did it like twice and I'm like, "Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong?" And they're like, "Where's your line?" And I'm like, "No one told me I had a line." They're like, "Yeah, of course you got lines. We sent you lines." I was like, no one told me I had lines. Where's my lines? He went, "Forget the lines." So I went, "No, don't forget the lines. Like, this is my lines." Like, my first...
How many lines have I got?
Yeah, how many lines have I
What
got?
are the
My line
lines?
was probably like, "No, I haven't seen him." But that was it. They cut it. So yeah.
Oh,
like, fuckers,
you should
yeah.
get
Would
paid
you-
more if you got lines.
I was going to get paid more. That's why I was obsessed with finding out what my lines were.
Right,
no
right.
one told me beforehand.
Carl.
That's it. You know, it's like you get on set. There's so many people around, and you just think, I can't be the one that's going to fuck it up. I just
Yeah.
can't be. I have
Again.
to. Yeah.
Can't be the one
Yeah,
to
especially if you're going in, you know, and playing a small part or you just got a few lines. You just think,
There are no small parts.
believe me.
There's only small wage packets.
Yeah, truly.
So the more lines you get, the more you get.
Yeah, well, when
Yeah.
you're an extra, you're getting like £100 a day. But if you're doing lines, you can actually get like the fee for the lines, plus you get repeat fees, and every time it's shown. But extras don't get repeats and checks. But if you do lines, you get, if it's resold to different channels, you get, what's it called? Your what's it fee? It's
The
like
what's it fee?
The what's it fee?
Repeat fees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, once again, Carl, we've learned that
Yeah.
because you didn't turn up to the job properly prepared, you lost out.
Yeah.
Have you never been an actor?
No, I mean, no.
No.
Also, I don't think I've got any skill for that.
Never been your thing.
Great.
Well-
So
Well,
the compensation claim, does it go through? What was it for?
Well, we
it's
haven't-
for every audition ever.
yeah.
Every
I mean, you're
audition
allowed full
ever.
competition. We haven't got a good
This
selection.
could be your first claim.
This could be a first claim.
For what?
Well,
What's my
Yeah.
claim? A lifetime of rejection?
yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're allowed
How
to
much
get.
am I getting?
Right. Well,
Oh well.
this is the problem.
That's just
This is where the problem comes.
the book.
In our
Because there's no
current-
budget.
Because there's no budget.
The book.
There's the book
book.
or there's the bus.
Or the bus.
The bus.
You must
Although the
choose.
bus we tried to get rid of. Carl's brother gave him this as his.
It's a forever
I saw
gift.
that earlier
It's a
on.
forever
Forever
gift. It will never ever biodegrade. It was forever.
Yeah, we've got to get better selection of gifts before we start giving them out. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? We need to give at least a conveyor belt, or have a lazy Susan with them all.
Oh, I love
Just-
a lazy
What about the
Susan.
Pan Am?
Yeah.
We have a lazy Pan Am thing.
No, but we need to get better with the gifts, I think.
We do,
We-
yeah.
we
Maybe
gotta-
we should do.
I
we
want
could get
also
rid
to-
of our art. I mean,
No, I'm not.
give our art away.
I'm not getting rid of my art like that.
No?
But I think we need some Monopoly money for at least, or some like chips. That's something. You know, like
Something that
Yeah.
represents.
yeah,
Yeah.
rather than a book and a bus.
Who's
And
just
a
that
bus.
book? Did you just?
Well, this was someone that gave me ages ago that I've never read and I've never.
So you
looked
thought
at.
I'll bring that in?
Well, the thing is,
Well, also because look at it, your
Last week-
roadmap for success.
Oh, okay.
It's one of
Yeah.
those books that
who
you're
doesn't
like,
want that?
I don't want to ever read that.
Show
I
it to
mean,
the
you
camera.
can
Bert.
get there from here. Where
Where is it?
Where
I'm
is
getting.
it? I don't know. If,
Bert, you want to show it to the listeners or the viewers?
this is what someone gave me, and I think it was someone that was like, "You need to read this," and I thought, "I'm not going to read that."
I'm not going to read it, but I am going to give it to my podcast.
This, but I've had it for 15
Yeah.
years, so I thought somebody needs. I should pass on the roadmap for success that I've never
Yeah.
used. I mean, not yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
this is where I've gone wrong. You know,
Maybe, yeah, maybe I could certainly do with that. I could certainly
Well-
do with a bit of help.
you're right. We're here to help. I think it's better than the bus. Anyway, well,
Yeah.
yeah. We have to. I think we should say thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
we've
you
gone
for
over.
having
Let
me.
you out
Great.
for good behaviour.
Thank you for having me. Enjoyed
Our
it.
pleasure. Bye.
Yeah.
3,
Bye.
2, 1. Welcome to Not